Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video. You joined me once again in my Mark 7 Golf R to go through part 3 of why is everyone selling their Golf R. A bit of a series I've been running, and yeah, basically to go through all of your comments from previous videos as well, as it's a really exciting time at the moment. Also show you a valuation that I've done today, so it's bang up to date of where the market is at, and yeah, sort of talk to you about what's going on and keeping you up to date. So let's get straight into this one. Yes, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone is all well. Now this is really fascinating stuff. We're in just some crazy period. Now I'm recording this today on the 12th of June in 2021. You'll see it on the 14th of June 2021. And over the last couple of weeks, I've sort of been speaking about the market and how essentially stuff like We Buy Any Car valuations have kind of been through the roof, and obviously also from like private sellers being able to get quite a lot more money, dealers being able to sell their cars for a lot more. And I've gone through various reasons of why this is, and a lot of it is just basically supply and demand. In short, there's not enough cars out there. The world is beginning to sort of open up again and people want to buy a car. Yeah, so there's lots of reasons around that. And the Golf R, obviously a car I talk about a lot on the channel, and you know, this can be the same for sort of like your GTIs and everything like that. And to be fair, most cars have kind of risen, but cars like this, which are just sort of like for everyone, it really has gone up. Now I'm going to get straight into what my valuation is, and I did this today, and I will show you on screen obviously. Now the last time I did a valuation, so let's go back to the start. Part 1, I did a We Buy Any Car valuation, and I got a quote from them at £19,500, which I thought was pretty good. My car is a 2017 Mark 7 Golf R. It has done about 32,000 miles. In fact, I've just clicked over 32,000 miles. It's 4 years old, and I've enjoyed the 4-year ownership and hopefully plenty more to come. I then did a valuation last week in part 2, and that went up to 20,350. So a bit of a rise in just a week. And I also predicted to you guys that in the long term, I can see this lasting up until August with just people just wanting it. You know, I can't see this sort of slowing down anytime soon. So I did a quote today and I was thinking, has it gone down? Is it the same? Has it gone up? And I will take bits of a pinch of salt, and I will take your guys' comments on board as well, in terms of you don't always get what We Buy Any Car say. They might knock you down if things are a little bit off, which is fair enough. But this is kind of across the board as well, and I'll go into that further into the video in terms of what other valuations and stuff are. Now, before I tell you this valuation, please do like, share, subscribe. It really does help the channel. And also, well, it encourages me to do series like this, because if you enjoyed them, I'll keep them coming. That's basically what it's all about. It's a community channel. I really enjoy it. I've really been enjoying your comments as well recently. So please do get involved in that. Even if you're not subscribed, to like a video, it means a hell of a lot to the channel. So thank you so much for that. So yes, the valuation. I did it today, and it says £20,425. So since last week, it's gone up by £75, which is quite nice. So yeah, so it's gone up a little bit. Obviously, valuations and stuff can vary, not only from the type of car that you are in, but also the area that you're in. I'm just outside St Albans, so that's where kind of my branch would be in Hertfordshire. So potentially if you're in a different area, it might be less, it might be more, who knows, but that's what I'm getting. Now, I have got my limit where I'll sort of say, if they actually offered me that and they didn't knock me down, it's a little bit more than what that has offered, I would be very tempted to sell, very tempted. As much as I absolutely love this car, you just can't turn something like that down, because I know for a fact, come October, November, the market's going to be back down again, and you know, I could probably find myself another Mark 7 Golf R for quite a few £1,000s less. So it's really interesting stuff, but that's where we are today, and really, really interesting. I've also checked on the Mark 7 Golf R forum, which I do find really, really interesting, and I saw a private seller sell his literally spotless, I think he'd done about 27,000 miles, 5-door black Mark 7.5 Golf R. I think it was on a 69 plate. It had every option, you know, Dyne audio, pan roof, DCC, Akrapovic exhaust. It looked mint. And I was like, damn, that's going to go for a heck of a lot of money. You know, that's going to be really, really good. I don't know if the person undervalued it personally, or they just felt that that was quite a high offer. And I believe they sold it for, and I can't find the exact post, because I think once it sells, they remove it. But it said sold at 27,100. I think that's actually quite cheap, personally, for a car that's got everything, every option you could want. And yeah, it looked pretty special. So you can still get decent deals out there. And that's kind of the main thing. So shop around even during this time and it can still make sense. And obviously for the owner, that's still obviously a fantastic amount of money for a car that's coming up to 30,000 miles and has just been replaced by the Golf 8R. All of this stuff I find so fascinating. I'll definitely keep you posted. I'm going to try and do it on Mondays, assuming you guys like it and share and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And subscribe to the channel, because, you know, it's all going to be for you guys, so that's what it's all about. So let's go through some of your comments from part 2, because obviously I did the video, then I get a load of comments and I want to kind of check it through with you guys. One thing I will add as well, because I do like doing this, I saw someone else yesterday and they got a valuation on their car, and they actually checked it in with We Buy Any Car, and they sort of knocked them down with the scratches and stuff, and they said, we'd offer you this. And they'd offer them £25,020 for a car that 2 years ago they paid £27,000 for. So £2,000 depreciation in 2 years for a Golf R. I mean, that's pretty good. And again, this is why I love these kind of cars so much. You know, you could own literally the cheapest new car in the UK, a Dacia Sandero, for example, pick one up for say 9 grand or something. That car in 4 years time is probably going to be worth like 3 grand. So you technically this is why I always think about the bigger picture. The cost of ownership is probably going to cost you more, and you're not going to be sitting in a really nice car. I love the Golf Rs, and, you know, obviously check out my channel because I've got so much content on it. So let's go through some of these comments and I'll put them on screen as we go through it. So this is obviously from part 2 video. First of all, someone said congratulations for getting to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for that. I've actually I'm about sort of 60 ahead of that now as well. So really appreciate your support. It means a huge amount for such a small channel, and yeah, the more you support it, the more content you'll get. That's basically how it works, so thank you so much for that. I'll try and go through as many of these as I can. Someone said here, are all these 7s and 7.5s being sold because their 3-year leases are up? Maybe they've all hit the market and they're going to be sold, potentially, but for me that doesn't really explain the price of why they're so high at this time. So that's my kind of answer on that. Someone says they do agree with the comments made. We back valuations. Mint Marks 5 Golf GTI valued at 5.5k and an email offer offered over a K less deposit. Yeah, so they're saying it's a little bit less. Now obviously I don't know exactly what that Mark 5 Golf GTI is. It might not have been a mint condition car, although this person is, so I'll take their word for it. I do feel that sometimes cars which are in sub or around the £5,000 mark, honestly, if I owned a sub £5,000 car, I wouldn't be looking to sell it. I think it have so much value in it, because you can still do everything with the car, and as long as they're reliable, that Mark 5 Golf GTI lasts forever. Particularly if they're knocking a grand off as well, just don't bother selling it. But for cars that are sort of like, you know, your £20,000, £25,000 plus, it's a slightly different ball game, because I mean, I've literally in the space of a week, it's gone up in the same amount of money that he's been not offered, if that makes sense. He was offered for £1,000 less. My car's gone up by £750. So it's like, it's just completely bizarre. But yeah, interesting comment nonetheless, so thank you so much for that. Sold my 16R at 4:30 p.m. to WeBack and bought my S3 at the end of the month. Great, people are kind of selling it. And the one thing I will talk about timings, actually, the valuation I did today, they said you can take it down to the dealer literally this afternoon and sell it, and if everything's right, you get the cash. I mean, that is pretty good going, let's be honest. And this is why I love, not to go on too much of a tangent, I love cars so much more as like an investment and something that you love and you can touch and you can feel and you can be so involved. And, you know, it's a passion of mine, and obviously being a car enthusiast, so much more than stuff like houses and flats, because it's like the worst case scenario, if you need to sell, you can sell a car. That's the great thing. Even if you sold it at the worst time of the month and you didn't get that much money at all, you can still get a proportion of your value back. You're not really tied down. That's what I love about them. And it also kind of keeps me motivated as well to keep pushing on, because it's like, well, Sam, if you keep pushing on, you can keep this car, and then maybe you could get another nice car alongside it, or maybe an upgrade to this, who knows. Although I can't really see too many upgrades to this. So yeah, interesting one. Would it still be worth a buy in around 4 to 5 years? I think this person's trying to say that, will the value kind of still be where it's at in 4 to 5 years? I did a little bit of a video around what's happening, and I personally still think these cars will still hold quite a strong value. You know, it's not a case of it's going to go up so much and those people who are buying into these cars are suddenly going to lose loads of money. I think the car market, particularly in this sort of price point, and this is why I talk about community cars, because they're in the sort of potential real world type prices, and I like it because hopefully you and me are not going to lose out on too much money, because as I've said before, You don't necessarily have to own a supercar, which appreciates potentially in value if you get a special one. You know, it's nice to own a car that works every day and isn't going to cost you too much money in the long run, in the bigger picture of things. So that's my answer to that question. So many Mark 7.5 Golf Rs on BCA auctions lately. So yeah, that's basically all that happens. We Buy Any Car will just either drop it into an auction, or they'll take it down to like London from here or something like that. I don't know what they'd do with it. When I sold my Fiesta ST and I got this, that's all that happened. They just said to me, oh, yeah, we just stick it to the auction house. It doesn't really matter. So that's where it goes. And yes, there will be quite a few for sale, but the prices will be high because the demand is still there. There's more people out than there are cars, put it that way. Just agreed to chop mine in for a Club Sport 45 in October. The Part X I was offered is crazy. Many congratulations to that person. Club Sport 45. I mean, if that subscriber or viewer or whoever you are, yeah, it gives me the opportunity to sort of check that car out and show you lot in any way, shape or form, even if it's just doing a walk around. I'd love to. But yeah, massive congratulations to that. That's quite a smart thing to do in some ways. Get more basically for your car now. And then come October, again, the market's a little bit lower, but a Club Sport 45, quite a limited numbered car. Yeah, and obviously you know the price you're paying, you know, whatever it is new. So really good, and many congratulations to that. Hi Sam, sold my 67 plate Golf 7.5 estate on Saturday's We Buy Any Car. They quoted me 22,600 and ended up knocking me down to 22,000. It was in excellent condition for more than average stone chips on the body, but happy with the price. Pretty much what I paid for it back in October last year. Yeah, again, congratulations to that person. And again, this is kind of just reinforcing the fact that this isn't just like a myth. You know, these videos aren't me just sort of talking rubbish. This is generally happening in the community, and I think it's a great thing because I think people have suffered so much. It's been such a tricky time, and we don't know where things are going, do we? You know, there's talks about in the UK about potentially lockdown being extended by another 4 weeks. It's supposed to end towards the end of June, and I actually thought in the UK potentially with, you know, lockdown being extended, or this sort of whatever state we're in at the moment, that car prices might actually soften a little bit. But if anything, it's just going to kind of extend it, I feel, because it's just going to be like a slow growth. So really interesting times with what's going on at the moment. And thank you so much for the comment there. Some really in-depth comments as well. So I always do encourage people to check out the comments, look at them, see what you think. And yeah, you just learn from people, you know, get knowledge from other people. It really does, well, it helps me out massively. Hopefully the channel helps you out massively. And hopefully it's good for that person as well to kind of share their thoughts and help others. That's what the channel's all about, really. And yeah, about sort of clean air zones and zero emission zones, and they mentioned about ULEZ, and they mentioned about electric cars. It's tricky. Fuel duty as well. Fuel duty is one thing that I am worried about. You know, like I've said before, I don't want to be spending a vast amount of money per litre just to drive my car. Maybe it'll make this feeling a little bit more special when you do, but all these things and all these sort of rules and legislations are going to make things difficult and affect car prices. I think the plus point is, you know, I'm looking in front of like 6 cars in front of me. The world is, the UK anyway, is very saturated, particularly in the southeast, of cars, and in the UK in general. So because there's so many of them around, there'll always be a demand for it. And yeah, so I can't see us just completely losing all our money in like 10 years, to be honest with you. But you just, who knows what's happening in this world anymore. But yes, that's a really good comment actually. Just sold my 7.5 to We Buy Any Car on the weekend. Very easy transaction. They paid me the full offer price, less the usual admin fee. At 3 years old, it was worth over 70% of what I paid for it. I have to wait. I have another car which I can use until the price falls, and I'll wait till I replace it. Yeah, bang on, exactly what I've been talking about as well. Congratulations as well for getting the exact money that you were offered. Fundamentally, people like We Buy Any Car, they are making money on your car. Let's just be blunt here. Your car is worth more than what they are offering you. That's how the world works. And that's why I find it amazing, like my car being offered 20,425. That means there's got to be margin in it for other people. So does that mean this is selling for sort of £23,000? I mean, that's literally exactly very close to what I paid for it 4 years ago. And that had just over 1,000 miles on the clock. So it's pretty incredible what we're going through here. It's almost like free car ownership for 4 years. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, well done to that person there. So here, hope you and yours are well. So thank you very much for that. Hope you're well as well. Yeah, you're right. The car market's mental right now. My car went in for a service 2 weeks ago now at the main VW dealer at the end of last week. And they actually sent me an email wanting to buy my car off me, offering top competitive price, admitting second-hand Volkswagen are at a premium at the moment, and they can't meet the demand. I didn't get a valuation from them because I decided not to get rid of it. I just can't see what's going to be gained when I would want another car like an R or a Club Sport or even the S3 or TT, and they're just silly money. I think I should hold on for mine for just a bit longer, as it's not 2 years old yet. But yeah, crazy times we're in for sure. That's a really good point as well, and it's great that that person's made the decision to not sell. You know, I'm in the same boat. I don't necessarily feel this is like, okay, you can strike when the market's hot, for sure, and it could work out for you in your situation. But if you look at the bigger picture in the long term, and the fact that I do use this car to drive places, yeah, it's sometimes you're not going to be in a bad situation if you don't go for it. But at the same point, I hope you find it interesting that this is what is happening at this time. So yeah, really interesting comment there. My 15 Cupra 280 ST has gone up over £1,000 with more miles on it than about 4 months ago. Yeah, again, another great example there of what's kind of going on. Again, thanks so much for the comments there getting involved. So thank you so much for that. I hope you found this useful. Again, if people like, share, subscribe, I'll keep doing videos like this probably every Monday until the market softens. So I'll do a part 4 and I'll go through all of your comments, every single one that I can. To be fair, it's pretty much every single one. I'll also run through where the value of my car is at to give you guys kind of like a little bit of an estimate of what's happening and where the world is changing, because it's going to reflect you and affect you lot as well. And yeah, I wish you all the best. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you find it useful. Yeah, stay tuned for another video next on this fascinating topic, because it's crazy. And yeah, I just find it really interesting to share, and I'm really glad that you've been enjoying it as well. But thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Let me know your thoughts in the comments of what you've sold your car for, or what valuation you've got, or your thoughts on the subject completely, and I'll talk about them next week. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy the sun. 28 degrees in the UK tomorrow on Sunday, or yesterday from when you're viewing this video. Cheers, guys.